Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. With the year coming to an end, let's take a recap and take a look at the best looking cards of the year. These are my personal opinion. I mean, art is very subjective to the eye of the beholder. So hit comment down below what your favorite cards of the year are. We're not looking at value, we're just looking at the best artwork, what caught your eyes immediately when the card was released. That's how I'm basing this list on. So there's about 25 cards, but I kind of bundled some together. Like the first card, the Deerling and Sawbuck card. Amazing looking card, right? I love the way Pokemon TCG has put cards together to make one big card. Tells a bigger picture, and this is like the perfect artwork for dealing seasonal typing, right? That's how the Pokemon is in the game, and a great design for that Pokemon on a TCG. Next is Shiftry, another card that's not expensive at all from Temporal Forces. This card artwork wise is amazing. Like, this is how I imagine Shiftry. Like, if you're just in the forest and you're walking and Shiftry comes after you, this is exactly what it looks like. A terrifying creature chasing after you, causing a whirlwind with all these sea dodgers rolling around in it. Like, it's just amazing piece of artwork. Next, Wattrel, another card that's not expensive at all, but the artwork is just amazing. From Twilight Masquerade. I mean, Wattrel is not probably anyone's favorite Pokemon at all because it's like a couple bucks probably, but the way the art is done perfectly, like all these Pokemon diving into the water, it's like shown perfectly. Like, the artwork is amazing. Like, I love a lot of the underwater cards in the Scarlet Violet era because I think they do it so well. Like, last year, one of my favorite cards was the Meryl. Like, I think it just looks amazing. Like, a lot of these underwater cards are just amazing. And continuing on with the underwater theme, we got Horsey, one of my personal favorite cards in the Shrouded Fable, and I think it's underrated. I feel like a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon cards tend to be more expensive than this one, so I think this one has some future value to be gained, but perfectly depict Horsey in the reefs, just chilling there. Again, another underwater card where it just really shows how well they can do like layers and reflectiveness. I think I just love it. Next up, we have the promo card from Surging Sparks Pokemon Center ETB. A little crazy, but it is the artist, right? It's Shinji Kanda and Giratina and Magikarp, all the same style. But this one, man, I think, yeah, sometimes this crazy artwork works for a certain Pokemon, and this one does it really well again. Like, a lot of craziness going on. The magnet's attracting a lot of things, I would assume is what it's doing, or it's just going off, but a great looking piece of artwork. $50 right now, which is very expensive for a promo card that just came out, but it's probably just gonna keep going up with how popular Surging Spark is, but this card is another piece of art. Next up, we have Ceruledge at number 16. My personal favorite Pokemon from Gen 9, and it sucks when your favorite Pokemon, you're waiting for an art rare or IR or SIR, and it takes 2 years for them to get one. Like, all Gen 9 Pokemon got all their cards like really early in the earlier sets, and this one, they waited a whole 2 years for it to finally have an art rare, but it did it justice. It looks menacing, and I like menacing and dark type Pokemon, so it fits it perfectly. I think they did an amazing job. Next, we have Shiny Palafin from Paldean Fates. Now, this is definitely the cheapest card on this list at 50 cents, but if you're thinking of Palafin and you see this card, like, this is a badass looking card. Like, it looks like Superman, right? A dark Superman. So, but you know, it's underwater, so is it Aquaman or is it Superman? But anyways, it depicts it perfectly. Like, it depicts it in such a cool way with all the Venusian in the background swimming. Like, this is an amazing piece of art. Like, again, if there were more art rares in that set, it'd probably be worth more. People will like it more. But again, Gen 9 Pokemon don't really carry much value, but personally for me, it's all about the artwork. And I think they depicted Palafin perfectly in this card. And at number 14, we have Raging Bolt, the newest version from Terrasso Festival. Now, I am including Terrasso Festival because it did come out just recently in 2024. So I know the English version is not coming out till next year, but for me personally, I now collect pretty much exclusively Japanese SIRs or SARs just because the texture is better, the price is better. I'm not investing in these cards, I'm just buying these for my personal collection, and obviously I want the better version. So Raging Bolt, this version is just way better than the Temporal Forces version, way closer looking. The artistic direction is way better. The Raging Bolt in the English version is it's cool, but it's too small. This one, I like closer up versions of cards, and this one does it justice. It looks ancient. Next, we have Ceruledge back on the list, the EX version, the Terra Crown version. Not a fan of Terra Crown Pokemon card design just because I think it takes away from the actual Pokemon. Not one of my favorite gimmicks in the TCG, but it is what it is. He's doing a badass attack. Honestly, I really am excited to play this card. If I ever get back into the Pokemon TCG, this would be the deck I want to play next. Next, we have the Greninja SIR from Twilight Masquerade, the first big chase card from Scarlet Violet era, really, at $300 plus. And I just mentioned I did not like Terra Crown Pokemon, and this is the first one where I did like. And the reason being, you can't really see the crown and the diamonds on top of his head. This one, you mostly just see a crystallized Greninja with Splatoon paint job, shurikens everywhere, colorful card. It pops out really right away. Honestly, I missed the opportunity to buy this card at $60 in Japanese when it got to that low, and Now it's like $100 plus Japanese and $300 plus English. So I might still pull the trigger, but there's another card on this list that is Greninja that I like more. Next up, we have the Gardevoir, Shiny Gardevoir from Palafin Fates. Instantly, I knew this was my favorite card. Like the colors, the elegance of Gardevoir. Not even a Gardevoir fan, but Gardevoir tends to get a lot of love in the TCG like spotlight, and they did justice. Like it's an amazing looking card. I know there's a Bubble Mew that's going off right now. That's probably not an artistic direction I like, but when the card is just sharp, image is like clean, this is what I like. So great looking card. Now we make it into the top 10. Now this might be some recency bias if you notice in the top 10, but again, I just saw the texture version of this card looks amazing. The sun shining down on Espeon, the check with texture is like amazing. Like Japanese texture is just a level above the English texture, and this card so elegant in the colors and the design of it. But man, I'm not an Evolution collector, not a Terra Crown collector, not a fan of it, but this one does it so well. The card, the texture design all together looks amazing. Next up, we have the best cards in Surgeon Spark, the Latios, Latias, and Misprint, which I did not even know was a part of it. But the trio put together looks amazing. Now this is usually reserved for an evolution line, but they did an amazing job with this. The skies, the sunset, the ocean, the islands, everything about this looks amazing. Honestly, might be the best trio card out there. Not even that it's legendary Pokemon, but the fact that they do it so well. Like this is a sick design. Next up, another pair of cards that just does it so well. Like the Feebas and the underwater, Melodic coming out of the water. First of all, the Feebas attack is called Leap Out. So it's fitting for Melodic to be leaping out the water like a majestic serpent. So I think it fits it perfectly. Again, probably get the Japanese version. English version is just way crazy expensive right now. It's just crazy how Surgeon Spark is going to the moon. But Japanese version is still affordable, I think. I haven't really checked the price recently, but again, it's a great two-piece combo that looks amazing together. And I love these. I love these cards that bring a little more value to the card individually. Next, we have Iron Valiant, another Pokemon that is just super badass. He's literally throwing a blade at you. Like, I don't know if he's throwing it or he's using psychic powers to do it, but he's just walking towards you, throwing a blade at you, and the world is just ripping apart. Like, how badass is that? This is a very, like I said, DBZ vibes for me. Like, it's like Frieza walking towards you, and the world is ripping apart, and he's just gonna attack you, and you can't do nothing about it. Again, blade type Pokemon, like Scizor, Scyther, Ceruledge, Iron Valiant. The design is just perfect in my eyes, and I love these Pokemon cards. At number 6, we got Roaring Moon from Terrace Festival, another card that just got another reprint or a remake artistically, and this one from Shinji Kanda. The card looks amazing, it looks menacing, it looks terrifying. So I just imagine you're in the rice fields and you see this dragon flying across the sky with his wings wide open, red, bloody red, flying across the sky with claws like that. I just imagine it being terrifying. Badass Pokemon, and I love badass Pokemon, and that's why this card is on the list. Number 5 is Moonbreon, a card that was super hyped up, and to be honest, for a card that was that hyped up before it even existed and no one knowing what the art could be like, I think it lived up to expectations. Like for me, I don't think it's ugly. The Moonbreon to me from Evolving Skies has nothing special to me about it, and that's why I don't understand why it's $1,000. But collectors will collect what they want to collect. It's just not for me. This one, it's only $250, and I like the art for $250. So with texture, this card looks amazing. I think it lived up to expectations. Honestly, in the English version, yeah, it might be a $1,000 card, but that's English. I am a Japanese collector. Texture looks amazing in Japanese. Again, texture makes the card look 1,000 times better than what the image can look like. At number 4, Blood Moon Ursaluna from Terrace Festival. Now this card is only $10. It's one of the cheapest SIRs in that set, and I bet you this card is not going to be on anyone else's list. If other YouTubers after this video comes out and they make their favorite artworks of the year, I bet you it won't be on their list. I might be the only person that puts this card up this high, but you already know my taste from this list that I love badass looking Pokemon cards. Last year, my two favorite cards were the Tyranitar from Paldea Evolve and then the Groudon from Paradox Rift. Those two were badass looking Pokemon cards, right? Where the Pokemon is just menacing, tough. You don't look tougher than this card, man. That's why this card is up this high. It's the toughest looking Pokemon of the year in my eyes, and the Kaiju card art direction looks sick. I love it. And number 3, we have Iron Crown from Temporal Forces. Get the Japanese version, guys. The texture on the moon looks amazing in Japanese, and it's like $25. This one doesn't look as badass as Blood Moon Ursaluna, but badass with a hint of majestic elegance. The colors pop. The colors fit perfectly with the yellow and the purple and the blue and the shades of the moon bleeding into the card. Everything about the card is just beautiful. It's probably the most beautiful card of the year. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you for watching my videos. I'm just a guy giving my opinion, but I want to hear your opinion, what your favorite artwork are from the cards that came out in 2024. Because my top 2 favorite cards, artwork wise, came out as promo cards from Shadow Fable. Who would have guessed that promo cards would be my favorite artworks from 2024? But man, that Kingdra is the number one artwork wise. Like, it's gonna be hard to top this card. It's so badass. cards, like it's beauty in it. Like the beauty of this card is we all know what that famous wave is. I'm sure it's depicting that. In the Greninja, it's Greninja. Like, I love Greninja. It was my starter. It's just badass. The way it's doing its attack, coming at you, Shinobi style. Like, it fits the Pokemon perfectly. It makes the Pokemon look tough. The artwork direction looks amazing. Again, that's all you ask for in a card. I really appreciate what Pokemon has done with the artwork directions of all the cards out this year. Can't wait to see what we're gonna see in 2025. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.